Hello everyone and welcome back to another Minecraft Redstone tutorial. My name is Glitch. Today we will be looking at making a compact item disposal for you to use in your survival world. Because sometimes your base just has too much stuff stuck in a random chest. For me, it's usually the leftovers from fishing. Since my base is built on a river, I tend to use fishing as a renewable source of food, as well as a pretty steady source of XP. Now, granted, I do get some decent loot, but often I wind up with a chest like this after a fishing session. Now, I keep any bows that I get because they can still be used to craft dispensers, but that still leaves me with the rods, which don't stack even after they've been disenchanted, and also more raw cod than I could ever eat. So I came up with a design for a compact item disposal that works in both Bedrock and Java. Because I seem to have this problem no matter what version of the game I play on. Now, since the build is completely buried under the floor, let's move over to a creative world and dive into the build, and I'll explain the concept of how the device works as we go. For this build, you will need the following supplies: 16 structure blocks, 1 sand, 1 cactus, 3 hoppers, 1 dropper, 2 comparators, 1 repeater, 2 redstone torches, 2 redstone dust, a lever, and you will also need an item that will be used in a hopper timer. You will also need an area that is 3 blocks wide by 4 blocks deep, and the build itself will come down 4 blocks below the floor level. Now, for the purposes of this tutorial, I have laid out the area for the build at the ground level, and this spruce wood platform will represent the floor level of your base. Now, because the build itself is pretty compact, you may want to consider digging out the entire 3x4 area and also digging out 5 blocks down. So floor level and then 1, 2, 3, and 4. That will just give you some room to work with. So to start things out, come down and skipping 1 block from the front of the build, place down your sand. Then you want to place down 3 temporary blocks in front of the sand. Step onto your sand, look up, take your dropper, and place it facing down. This should leave you with a 2-block gap between your dropper and the sand. And then you can go ahead and break out these temporary blocks. Now go ahead and place down your cactus, and then you will want to remember that with a cactus, all 4 faces of the cactus must have an air block beside them. So if you want to enclose it, just remember to leave these spaces open. Next up, come in and crouch place a hopper into your dropper, and then place down a barrel on top of the hopper. Now that we've got everything set up for the disposal itself, let's go ahead and wire up the redstone. Now, when it comes to wiring up the redstone, there is going to be a lot going on in a small space here. So for ease of explanation, I'm going to color code each of the 3 circuits we're going to use with red, yellow, and green wool. So starting off with the red circuit, you want to place down a block directly behind the space between your cactus and your dropper. This should still be air. And then place down 1 block up, so you'll have this little step type shape. Come in and place down a comparator running into this block. And then you want to place down a redstone torch on the face of that block. Now, for the yellow circuit, let's go ahead and place 2 blocks up, and then you want to crouch place a hopper into this block, break it out, and come around, and then crouch place the hopper into your first hopper, and they should run into each other. And you know what? Let's go ahead and just replace that just to mark that this is part of the yellow circuit. Then come around, and you want to place down another comparator coming out of your hopper, and this will form the timing mechanism for our build. Now place your item into the hopper. It should not move because right now this redstone torch from the red circuit is powering this hopper, which locks it and keeps the item from moving back and forth. So as I said, the yellow circuit forms our timing circuit. The red circuit forms the trigger that will turn our timer on and off. Now for the green circuit, come around and you want to place down one block here, and we'll go ahead and break this out and place down one here, and then you want to come up one block. So you'll have this 1, 2, and then up a step. Then place down a repeater running into the block that's stepped up. Place down redstone dust to connect the comparator and the repeater, and then you want to place a redstone torch on the top face of this block. Now, because this repeater is currently powering this block, your torch should invert. This will serve as the trigger for the dropper. So because our item is currently in a hopper that is powered, it will not move. This comparator then has a constant signal coming out of it, which then runs through the repeater into this block, keeping this torch inverted or turned off. If, however, we have any items placed into the dropper, let's go ahead and we'll borrow some of the cactus. Now that they're in the dropper, the comparator gives out a signal which inverts this torch, allowing the item to move back and forth between the two hoppers, which alternates the signal coming out of the comparator, and in turn cycles the redstone torch on this block on and off, which fires our dropper and then sends our items to their prickly doom. Once you have all this in place, you can go ahead and close off this area. That will also help your items from and there. That'll keep your items also from falling into away from the cactus like this. And you can also go ahead and replace your flooring. Last up, let's go ahead and install a safety lock on our disposal, because there is the possibility that as you're going ahead and disposing of items, you accidentally click on the wrong thing, and there goes your brand new netherite pickaxe that you were just getting ready to enchant. And believe me, once any item leaves the barrel, there is very little chance that you will be able to get to that dropper fast enough to save it. First off, after you've replaced the floor over your build, go ahead and come behind your disposal and place 2 blocks up. Break out the bottom one and place redstone dust on the floor behind it. Then take out a lever, place it down, and power it. Now this will power this block, which will lock this hopper in place, meaning that no items can pass through the hopper until you are ready. And then once you are sure that everything is good and everything's ready to go, all you do is click your lever and the system starts up again. And if you were to accidentally put something in, just quickly click your lever and the system will stop. Now again, if it gets out of the barrel, it's probably not, it will still pass through the system. However, that will give you a little bit of extra time to make sure that the things that go into the barrel are the things that you want to get rid of. An item disposal can make it easier to clear out the clutter in your base, and also make it easier to find the blocks, resources, and items you need as you create and explore your Minecraft world. I hope you find this build useful. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like, and also consider subscribing if you want to see more content like this. My name is Glitch, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.